Look, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen next week from now and the next couple years from now. I don't know where my life is heading. But what I do know is that based upon my past, I've learned that when I give it my all and when I lead with love, compassion, caring, actually like joy and energy for the world has taken care of me handsomely. And yeah, sometimes that means you have to let go of certain grievances or certain things that don't go your way. But it's all part of it. It's all part of the journey. The ups, the downs, the troughs, the hills. Like, for so long, I was afraid of the future. Because I knew what that meant. I knew that the future meant that I had to be someone, that I had to somehow get there. I had this vision in my mind of who it was or who it is I wanted to be, like maybe what I wanted to do, these tangibilities. Like, I want to have, I don't know, enough money. I want to be an astronaut. I want to XYZ, whatever. You have your dream that you long aspire for. And I did too. Like, I was like, I want to be the best researcher there ever was. I want to create the next great mathematical theorem or contribute to the amazing science body of knowledge, scientific body of knowledge, like Newton or Albert Einstein or something. I've been gripped with the emotion when I was younger, and I just realized it's it's not real. Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, whomever it is, they never aspired to be the next great, like Mozart. You know what they aspired to do? They aspired to just enjoy their science, enjoy their life. My favorite example of all time is Richard Feynman. There's a great book about his life called Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman. And why it's raining right now, that's so funny. And it's about Richard Feynman's growth through the years of childhood to adulthood, through his graduate degree, through his stationment in like Los Alamos. Where am I going with this? This man just enjoyed science. He ended up becoming such an incredible contributor to like the quantum mechanic understanding, and it started with just his love for radios, his love for curiosity, his love for how he saw the world. Often you would find him playing the bongo drums or learning how to pick locks just for fun. He wasn't trying to be the next big shot. He wasn't trying to be the next whatever. His future was not this highly meticulously crafted machine that he was going to then pursue and execute on. No. He just lived with some basic fundamental principles of his character. He was curious. He just loved for the sake of loving. He liked having fun. enjoyed science. And it's like when you do these things with enough time, I feel like just good things will find you. Life will have a way of making it work out for you. If you lead with care and compassion in every social situation you go to, you'll be remembered as the individual who would give back, who cared enough to listen, to actually ask questions when others wouldn't. You're curious, you know? You'll put yourself in situations that maybe don't necessarily align with your identity and open you up to all these opportunities that you didn't even know existed. If I held so deeply that I was and am, like I am an engineer, but I love neuroscience. I've been making so many friends through my graduate degree program in the body of neuroscience. I'm just curious. I like how the brain works. I'm not acting like I know everything, but I'm asking them honest questions. I'm playing with these ideas, and sometimes I'm like gladdened to hear them respond with like glowing affirmation that maybe like the thoughts that I do have are worthwhile. But if I never separated myself from just my strict engineering identity, I would feel like I'm not allowed to play in that playground. And that leads to the play. You know, you have to look at it as fun. Your life as fun, these things as fun, your future as fun. The uncertainty is the point. If you knew the plot to your favorite movie, how much fun is the movie? I know you have some favorite movies out there that you'll keep watching forever, and you have lots of fun when you do. But think about that very first time that you experienced that movie. You were in awe. You were in wow. That is the excitement. That is the fun component. Maybe at times you were worried. You didn't know what was going to happen next. But that was the thing that reeled you in. And that's life. You can frame it that way. So it's hard. So it is uncertain. That is joyful. That is the platform. That is the blank canvas you need in order to paint in the direction that you want. When you put so much conviction, so much emphasis on one decision, and it doesn't pan out, that is when your brain breaks. That is when your world crumbles. If you can live in uncertainty and be okay with the ebbs and flows of the river, the water, the ups and downs of the roller coaster, you're fine with anything, baby, because you're on the ride. You are just living large. You are just having a good time. This is what they say about enjoying the journey. I never understood what this meant. People say that life's a journey. Just enjoy the journey, man. Like, you know, you have the surfer, like, stereotype. Just chill. Like, life's a wave. Ride it. I never got that. But I'm starting to understand it now. Now, there is no destination. The moment you get there, there's just another place to go. But every single moment, if you're appreciating what it is that you have, you're just living, man. You're just living life. It doesn't matter what your future becomes. You don't have to worry about being the next great whatever. You don't have to worry about getting this highest paying job. You can disconnect and decouple from the superficial reality and just live. Be curious for the sake of being curious. You don't need to be curious so you can get this next job. Just be curious because you want. Love not because you want something out of someone, but because you truly love. But like so often we can get caught up in the superficial landscape of life, of our society. You know, even this, I go back to this analogy, there's this topic of me wanting to be great. You know, that's so encoded in our brains. When I was a kid, so encoded. But I've disconnected from that reality. It's not about chasing greatness. It's about living a good life that you want to live. And when you live with those principles, sure, maybe you'll be someone that someone wants to remember. Sure, maybe you'll go down in some history books that people want to write down. Sure, maybe you won't be. It doesn't matter. Like one thought I had a while ago that really resonated with me to disconnect me from this reality was, even the greats will be forgotten. The sun's going to explode. You're telling me that this multi-planetary, you know, trillion year into the future species of human is gonna remember my tiny contribution to whatever, or even like Albert Einstein's discovery of relativity? I don't think so. I think that's a wow moment in here. A trillion years from now, think about how much history is being written. There's going to be new revelations, understandings that we haven't even foreseen coming. So I think the chase of greatness for the sake of greatness, it's not a good reality to live. The chase of these like entities, the chase of just like a concrete, like tangible goal. I don't even know if it's like also something worth chasing for. I mean, certainly it gives you a nice North Star, but it shan't be your whole life. Because like when you're so hyper focused on that, like think about what you're filtering out. You're filtering out all these things that could potentially help you along the way. The play aspect, the love, the compassion, all of it. And I'll leave you with this. So I'm reading a great book right now called Journey of a Theorem. I like math, by the way. Journey of a Theorem. I can't remember his name, but he's a Fields medalist. And he was discussing his 6-month term at this institution called the AIS, I believe. It's a very prestigious institution that's even more prestigious than Princeton, whatever, all these Ivy League schools. And at this institution, any person that gets tenureship there doesn't have to teach, doesn't have to do anything but focus on their research. And the thing that was apparent to me, in the words of this author, this Fields medalist, he was there working. And he said, back when Einstein was here, apparently the spirit of this place was about work, but also play. There was a bar that people would go hang out with and reconnect with their friends. But today, it's all about work. There is no such thing as play. And when you're here, you only work on your proofs, on your theoretical math, your physics, I mean. That's all. And to me, that's wild. Yeah, you still have this immense output of new cutting edge research, but the creativity aspect of it all could be lost. Because when you get play, you get to like see your work through different colors. When you loosen up, when you're okay with the uncertainty of it all, you just discover what it is that you're longing for. Like a person creating a math proof or whatever, they're so rigorously trying to get to the end of it. And at the end of the day, they just needed to take a break and come back at it with fresh eyes. they need to go have a beer with their friend who would have randomly said an offhandedly comment that was not formal at all, just informal, but that jogged an idea that then led you to your unbelievable creative, like, I don't know, solution. So I guess I don't know what this video is really essence is about. But one thing's for certain, it's about this angle of journey of life, of not worrying what's to come, of just loosening up ever so slightly so that you can actualize and realize reality for truly what it is. It's a fun game where not much really matters, but how you play in it. It's a sandbox ready for you for the taking. And yeah, you have to work obsessively hard. But that's the point. If you can find joy and pleasure in the things that you choose to suffer for, that's amazing. You know, I view suffering as a virtue. I mean, yes, I've of course recognized it's a huge spectrum. I don't want to like just make such a crazy bold claim, but it's very relative, of course, but it is a spectrum. And no matter the stage at life that you're at, suffering is a constant. The billionaires suffer, which is crazy to say. The people that are poor suffer. Everyone is trapped in the human condition, and we all are just controlled by it. No one is free from it. It's important to recognize. And that's why, for me, I'm happy to take on the level of suffering that I need in life in order to give myself some food in my belly. I'm happy to take on the suffering to give myself a future that I truly want. I'm happy to take on all these challenges in order to just be a better person every day, because that is what I'm suffering for. I'm grateful to suffer for these things. I'm grateful that I have a world where my suffering is not filled by like death and carnage. And I feel for these individuals. All I'm gonna say is sometimes you really do have a good flavor of suffering that you can lean into. Anyway, I'm Matthew. I'm gonna go reflect on these thoughts now. Have a great day. Peace and love.